Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Sorry I'm late, y'all. Sorry I'm late. One second, y'all. I'm trying to get my triple shot energy Starbucks drink open. So one second. But good morning. Oh shit. Y'all heard that? That shit sound like it was about to fizzle over like a Coca-Cola. Y'all, I thought this mess was about to spray everywhere. Let me see who all is here so I could say hey to everybody. Good morning, Daniel Berry Sports. Good morning, CMAC TV. Good morning, Allie in Wonderland. Good morning to Bernice. Good morning to Angela T. White. Good morning to Dr. Sophie. Good morning, Tuddy. Good morning, Big Mama. Good morning to, I think I got everybody. Okay, I got all of y'all. Y'all, this been a rough morning. I will say that. And when I say a rough morning, I mean, normally I would have been gotten up a little bit earlier, but I don't know why I woke up, but I must have been like up in that REM sleep where I don't know, that REM sleep where you're not quite ready to wake up and it ain't nothing that could be done about it. So y'all, I ended up having to go back to sleep, so that's why I'm late. I'm sorry. Even when I woke up and I was like, well, let me just go ahead and stay awake for a little bit for my morning show. Y'all, my eyes was heavy. I was like, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I ain't gonna be able to do it. So I went back to sleep, and I'm happy because I only went back to sleep for another maybe 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes or so. And I think that was what I needed in order to get myself back on track for this morning. But so, y'all, I didn't put any specific title here with this Get Ready With Me, y'all, because I really didn't know where to begin with what I was going to talk about. One thing that I can say that I noticed, so I will say that I have to go back to that whole return to sender, and I almost named this Get Ready With Me Return to Sender edition. Cause y'all, where I had to return some of that wicked ass mess that was being thrown my way, that negativity that was trying to be sent my way. I had to return to sender. And y'all, have y'all not seen that ever since I had to return that to sender to a few mofos in different areas, y'all, they've been having a hard time and things just been falling apart. I already told y'all with Octavius, I had to return stuff back to sender to his rump. Good morning, Toaster. Had to return to sender to his rump. And now he been going through. He over there beefing with Kiki. He making video after video after video about her, going live after live after live, on the live for 3 hours, 5 hours. Y'all, when I heard Kiki say that this past Mother's Day, Octavius hit her up for $6. He needed to borrow $6 from her, or I don't even know if he asked to borrow the money or if he just wanted her to give her the money. But on Mother's Day of this year, he hit her up for $6 so that he could go out and buy his mama, I guess, some cheap ass flowers. Or I don't know if he was trying to buy his mama a Mother's Day gift or if he just needed $6 in order to go with whatever he had. But either way, he needed $6. And I think that's something. When you got your man, when you got your man hitting you up on Mother's Day, not hitting you up to give you something for Mother's Day since you are a mother, but hitting you up for $6 because they need $6 so that they could try to get their own mama something. I said that's crazy. Then only to also find out that yeah, it seemed like he's still been living with his mama doing all this stuff. He just been doing the most. And now it seemed like everything that he tried to accuse me of doing, he over there doing? He doing video after video after video after video after video about Kiki. He doing video after video about him. And listen here, you keep doing all these videos about Kiki Octavius. That is actually showing me that you might have some obsession. All these videos back to back that you keep doing about this girl because she don't want you no more. You might just be harassing her. I think you might need to sit down somewhere and leave that girl alone. I think you need to take rejection and move along. You need to take rejection and move along and leave that woman alone. And leave her child alone. Stop bringing up anything like that. Get off of there, on there for 4-5 hours at a time. Just crying the damn river. Stop it. And good morning to, hey, Mr. West. They've been mistreating you out there, Mr. West. And I really don't appreciate it. I've been trying to stick up for you. But this is my thing, Mr. West. This is how I know that it's people like Lemon specifically that don't like for the truth to be out, because I have never seen for the life of me. And good morning to Arius Oasis. Good morning, Diddy Love. Everybody. I couldn't believe that Lemon kept shutting you down. And it seemed like Lemon has totally started treating Mr. West completely different now. All because when we had that behind the scenes discussion on the StreamYard after Lemon's Live the other day, Mr. West was back there and Mr. West witnessed the truth. So when Lemon tried to come out here and lie on the forefront talking about I copped the plea and I was begging him this and begging him that, that was a lie. And Mr. West was right there. Mr. West was right there. At any time Mr. West tried to click the link to say, hey, that's a lie. Lemon, I was right there. That's a lie. You ain't telling the truth, Lemon. Anytime Mr. West tried to let everybody know that, hey, Lemon ain't telling the truth, Lemon just kick him off the panel. This is my first time ever seeing somebody be that intimidated by the truth to where they would legitimately kick somebody off the panel on purpose just so that the truth is not told. And it really made me look at Lemon differently. It made me look at Lemon differently because if he'll do stuff like that to keep the truth under wraps, ain't no telling what he do up in his real life to keep the truth under wraps. Ain't no telling. Now, as far as being things going, returning back to sender, you saw Lemon have this whole fiasco going on with his group over there. Now, Beans and Cornbread, she used to support my channel once upon a time, y'all. But I didn't realize how much of a lemonette that she truly was until I sat back and just started observing. I don't know. And good morning, Jinx. I don't know if like maybe Lemon reminds her of a son that she had or never had. I don't know what it is about him that makes this woman so invested, but she is so invested. I had already spoke to y'all about the fact that I felt like she had bullied Laurie the other day to the point to where she made Laurie cry. Laurie ended up boo-hoo-hoo-hoo crying up on Lemon's platform because Beans and Cornbread was talking so crazy to her that it ended up hurting her feelings. Well, Lemon ended up cussing out Beans and Cornbread. I think it was Monday night. He ended up cussing that lady out. Cussed her clean the hell out. Cussed all the women out. I was up in his chat minding my business for at least the first 2 or 3 hours of his live. And before I knew it, Ness was up on his platform. Ness saw me up in the chat. Ness had a problem with me being up in his chat. So then because Ness had a problem with me being up in the chat, he went ahead and blocked me out of his chat. And I'm thinking to myself, why in the hell is you blocking me out of your chat because Ness told you to? It's the weirdest thing ever. But even that Monday night, when he cussed out everybody and cussed out the women and cussed out Brianna and blocking everybody out the chat, blocking me out of the chat, all of this, he did end up having a Discord meeting afterwards. Now, I was trying to get the tips about what happened with the Discord meeting. Lemon is being so secretive when it comes to that invite link. Y'all, in order to get up in the Discord, you have to have the invite link. In the past, Lemon just put that invite link up on his community wall post and keep it going. And then you could just get the link and go on up in there as you please. But now that he got popped about that woman and that $500 that he had to refund back to her, now he treating that link like it's damn, I don't know. He treating that link like it's worth $1 million to where he not passing it around all willy-nilly. You got to know somebody who got the link. And then once you know somebody who got the link, then they could give the link to you. And then once they give the link to you, then you can sneak up in there. I wonder how long Lemon gonna try to have this type of tight security around his Discord. Good morning, Leo. But Tuesday night, they had no, it was Monday night. They had this whole Discord meeting and everything. And I stayed up for the most part, checking my messages and searching around, trying to get the tea of what was going on in there. It seemed like it was a knockdown, drag out type of fight. But the one thing for the life of me that I don't get, y'all, is how come Lemon can cuss out all these women publicly, cuss out all these women publicly in the front of everything, but then when it's time for them to hold him accountable, he has to be held accountable behind the scenes. I don't know if I worded that right, so let me say it again. Don't y'all find it odd that Lemon cusses out all the women and the Lemonettes and all of them? He cussed them out in front of the scenes, but when it's time for them to get his ass right on together, and when it's time for them to hold him accountable for his actions, then they are required to only address him behind the scenes. If y'all notice, good morning, Fifi TV. If y'all notice, that's the reason why Beans and Cornbread ended up getting cussed out on Monday night, was because she had the nerve to have a voice and say something back to him in front of the scenes because he started cussing her out and fussing at her. To me, it is the epitome of coddling, because it's like he could publicly humiliate them by cussing them out in front of 500 or 600 people, but he don't dare want them to do the same thing back to him. He want them to go into Discord and privately go up in the lounge and cuss him out there, but he could cuss them the hell out in front of 800 people. Make it make sense. Good morning, Asia. I don't like that. On the one hand, I'm like, why do these women even deal like this? And then on the other hand, as I look between Lemon and his crew of people and Ness and her crew of people, y'all, it's starting to look like two legit cults on each side. It looks like a cult on each side, with Ness and the Finesses with their cult-like behavior, and then Lemon them with theirs. Last night, I will say, on Lemon's show, I was very, very proud of Dragons for standing up for herself. Y'all, Dragons ended up getting up there when she was going back and forth with Mika, because Dragons was calling Mika out for the black magic and all of that stuff that she be over there trying to do. Even that right there is something. Ain't it something, y'all? As long as people knew that Dovey be over there messing with her black magic or messing with her black candles, they always tried to call Dovey out. They tried to joke at Dovey about it. They tried to tease her about it. And for years, I watched them tease Dovey. But now that Mika is out here out in the front of everybody doing this black magic and this witchcraft and whatever else she got going on over there with her openly doing that, y'all ain't nobody being outraged about her. Now my question is, why is it that Dovey couldn't get away with practicing her candles and stuff, but Mika can get away with practicing hers? Now, is it because they are accepting of Mika and this black magic bullshit that she got because she first started trying to do black magic over there against me? Do y'all think that if she was over there doing black magic against anybody else in the beef sector, do y'all think then people would be outraged about her in that fuckery? Or is it because it's just me? It is about some jars. Or is it because it was me? That's the reason why they okay with her practicing this mess. Then it made me ponder about the whole colorism tip. Remember, we used to have all these colorism discussions once upon a time. Did Dovey get so much slack for her black candles and the stuff that she was doing because she was a dark-skinned witch? And because Mika is light-skinned, and maybe that's the reason why she able to get away with being over here a newbie trying to practice witchcraft and put spells and stuff like that upon people. But then when Dragons jumped up there last night to call her out for it, it seemed like everybody on the panel was trying to get upset with Dragons. Now, Dragons done been on here with her tarot cards. People done made fun of Dragons and everything. I have made fun of Dragons about her tarot cards in the past. I have. And I have a few reasons on why I made fun of Dragons about the tarot cards. But that's beside the point right now. But Dragons was using her tarot cards, trying to get people to let her do readings for them and trying to make a hustle, make a living once upon a time before she wound up homeless. She used to try to make a living on here trying to do readings for people. But people didn't want to buy into Dragon's craft or Dragon's gift. But now, because Mika over there putting spells and roots and rituals and stuff like that upon me, then now people are accepting of it and basically saying, oh, well, that's her religious beliefs. That's her religion. She's religiously, she believes in this. Yeah, Asia, she did one video when she got, one thing that I'm noticing about some people who have memberships, y'all, is that some people get caught slipping. Because it seems that particular video in question where she was trying to put me up in the jar and shit like that to put me in the freezer, y'all, she claims that video was supposed to be released on her membership and not on her public videos. But she accidentally released it publicly, and that's how come everybody was able to see it, including me. She said that it was an accident that it came out publicly, but that it should have been going to her membership and that it should have never touched the public eye. Now, I know that some rookies, sometimes they will be trying to set up a members only and then accidentally put it public. I've done that on my Dunn Daughter channel a couple of times where I forgot to switch it from public to members only, and then it ended up being public, and then I have to hurry up and switch it back. But the problem is, Asia, it's a couple of people that already was working to try to get me out of the jar. I combated it with a few things that I had to combat and return to sender any of that mess that she tried, any negativity that she tried to put my way. I returned it back to sender to her and to anybody else that's trying to bring negativity or harm my way. I returned it back to sender. I returned it back to sender in the name of God. I did that already. But then It's a couple of people, believe it or not, around this sector that know about this kind of stuff that actually reached out to me, talked about getting me out the jar. I guess she didn't know that even though she over there putting me in a jar and put me in the freezer, it's a few people that practice some of this stuff too around this sector that don't like it. And they hit me up in my messages and said that they could do something to reverse that and get me out the jar. And I said, well, wonderful. I said, wonderful, get me out there. I said, get me out that damn bitch jar. I said, get me out there. But last night, Dragons was going to bat. Good morning, Miami Popo. Dragons was going to bat with her last night. And y'all, as I watched Lemon's panel, it reminded me of a battle between good and evil. And never once without a thought that in the battle between good and evil, that Dragons would actually be on the side of good. In the battle between good and evil, Dragons was on the side of good. And Dragons was up there. Dragons was yelling, tussling, fighting. Dragons was rebuking her in the name of God. Dragons was telling her, you evil. All of this black magic. You a dark witch. I sense your energy. I don't deal with dark witches like you. I'm about to get you up out of here. Yo, magic and this dark stuff that you doing is ruining Lemon's channel, and you put a spell on him. Dragons. Good morning, Ray Triggs. Ray Triggs said, look, Ray Triggs, I was proud of Dragons. I ain't never thought I'd say that I was proud of Dragons, but I was proud of her last night. Ray Triggs said, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I agree with Dragons too. Yes, I agree with her. Dragon said, Dragon said, you over there worshiping Satan and you doing all that stuff on the side of Satan. And Dragons was talking about how Lemon's channel has faltered with Mika. And when you think about it, it is true. It's true. And good morning, Asia. Y'all, when Dragon started talking about the energy of it all and talked about how Mika was like an energy vampire, like Mika was like a succubus that was siphon the energy from Lemon and Lemon's platform, trying to use it to help her own self feel better and grow her own platform. Y'all, Dragon spoke a word. Because if you think about it, it's some truth to that. Good morning, Lee Pepper. It's some truth to that. Mika was over there with a Don struggling channel. Don is struggling. Nobody was going over there to watch her. Barely anybody up in the chat. She had a membership. But didn't have no members. She had all of that. And once she started trying to leech off on the energy of the people over here, specifically Lemon and his platform, y'all, Lemon started seeing a downward spiral of his platform while her platform is starting to grow. Lemon is seeing more darkness and darker days while she is taking that energy and she is seeing a little bit of lighter days. What I noticed is that even with me, I feel like she was trying to take my energy from me, and that's why I had to call my power back and call my energy back. I had to call all of that back from her. I had to reverse and return all that negativity back to sender for myself. But Lemon don't even realize what's happening. And even though Dragons was up there trying to let him know what's happening, he didn't believe it. Now, most people will say, well, J.Dunn, his channel ain't doing well because he been at battle with you. No, me and Lemon done only been at battle for 1 week. But outside of this 1 week that I've been having to be at battle with Lemon, his channel been having some issues much longer than a week. Now y'all can't do nothing but agree with me on that. Even when I think about all of these graphics and stuff that she do for him, y'all, when y'all think about this stuff, y'all got to understand this stuff is really real. This stuff is real. Think about all the graphics that she do for him, the intros, the outros. Y'all don't think for a second that she might not be praying something over these damn graphics and stuff before she send them over there to him? Think about it. Y'all don't think that she over there doing some root work and praying over this stuff that she call herself doing out the kindness of her heart, making for him voluntarily? Because I couldn't understand why she would be making all this stuff for him and he didn't pay her. He wasn't paying her whatsoever for any of this stuff, but she was freely out the kindness of her heart, and I'm using quotations, out the kindness of her heart. She making all this stuff for him to use on his channel, to use on his backdrop, to use all over his channel. And y'all ain't never thought about what type of prayer she might have done put on this, or what type of seance or ritual that she done to it before she gave it to him and he plastered it up on his channel, y'all. Good morning, Tebay. I hate to be scaring you early this morning, Angela T. White, but you got to think about it. Because she definitely believe in that. She believe in that message she over there doing. And I can only imagine with every free thing, with Limit thinking that she doing something good for him, if she done prayed some type of negativity up in it, and he over there using up on his channel day in and day out, y'all don't think that might be causing some type of havoc to his channel? She keeps saying that she done been a moderator for him from day one. She done been a moderator for him from day one. And I'm thinking to myself, first off, I don't remember her being there from day one. I know I was on his very first live ever. I was on the link on the panel. And I don't remember her being there, but she claimed she was there. I don't remember, but I don't know. But I just say, you got to, when you know that she practiced and delve into these types of things, you got to be careful about everything. You got to be careful about everything. Good morning, Blondie Queen. Blondie Queen, I appreciate you telling me to be careful. The lady done already put me up in the freezer and some other shit. But I am talking about this spiritual fight that her and Dragons had. That was very interesting. It was very telling. And what I was noticing is that it seemed like most of the people up on the panel was trying to hush Dragons up, trying to quiet Dragons down. They was acting like Dragons was up there being a Fruit Loop and being a lunatic or a mad woman, when Dragons was trying to be on the side of right and on the side of righteous. Today said, I was taught never let anyone get a picture of you or a shred of hair. That's another thing, today. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad today said this, because guess what? Every single time she work on the graphics for Lemon, for these competitions, she always have to reach out to the content creators for, guess what? A picture. A picture. When she making these graphics, when she making the flyers for any of this stuff that Lemon be hosting on his channel, she have to reach out to everybody for, guess what? A picture. Even to the point to right now, she admitted up on his channel that's what made her get back in touch with being good with Ness, because she had to reach out to Ness for a picture. She had to reach out to Ness for a picture because Ness is a judge. Then Lemon had to get the pictures of other CCs, whether you a judge or you a contestant, for you to be put on the flyer, for your picture to be up in the intro, all of this. And all of this is going to her. So I'm happy that today brought that. I was taught never let anyone get a picture of you or a shred of hair. Y'all, Dragons was onto something last night, but people was trying to make Dragons seem and appear so loony that her message was getting lost. But I was receiving Dragon's message. And normally I don't even receive Dragon's message. But last night I was receiving it. I was like, okay, Dragons, you better come and say it. You better say it. Because the stuff that Mika be saying towards anybody, nobody who is a good person or a healer would ever be saying that type of stuff to other people. Never. One thing too that I noticed within the last, I would say 48 to 72 hours, y'all. And let me put this down. Good morning, Melissa Scott. Let me see. Didi Love said Mika literally said she making potions and tinctures. Yes. And she got everybody pictures. Blondie said because she might come into Zulu and have him tripping. I was in the clouds listening. Yes, this time I would have believed in dragons. Yes. But Zulu cover. But not only that, y'all. Not only that, but even with the pictures that she was needing from everybody, what Dragons was trying to tell her, I know what I was about to say. Okay, so over the last 48 to 72 hours, y'all, I want y'all to take note the next time y'all listening to Lemons. And just let me know if y'all done heard it already. I would say up in the last 2 lives, at least, that Lemon did. And then last night, he clicked Nest link over there. I ain't lying to y'all. I have heard Lemon speak about unaliving oneself. It's almost like here recently, over the last 3-4 days, Lemon has become fixated with that thought. I heard him arguing with Noble, telling Noble to unalive Noble, for Noble to unalive himself. I've heard Lemon argue and say that who was he saying was boring? He was arguing about somebody's channel and saying that their channel was so boring that he would rather unalive himself than watch their boring channel. On Nessus last night, I heard him talk about unaliving himself. He has just been fixated on that, and he will use it when he trying to argue with somebody. Sir King, yes, Lee Pepper, you heard it. He said Sir King was so boring that he would rather unalive himself. Now, when was Lemon ever talking like that before? Now, what is it now all of a sudden that's so dark and different with him to where that's one of his drags? He used it against Noble. I done heard him use it against a few other people. I think last night he was using it about Mr. West. He say that Sir King so boring that he'll rather unalive. I mean, he keeps saying this a lot. I wonder if it's a coincidence. Or if it's something more sinister with that. Y'all pay attention. Y'all, now that I done brought it to y'all attention, y'all gonna notice it when he say it. And when he say it again, y'all gonna be like, J.Dunn said that. J.Dunn pointed that out. Let me pay attention. J.Dunn pointed that out because I ain't never heard nobody get that fixated about that. But he is. And then I'm like, well, is he projecting onto other people? Is he going through something so much so that that's why he keep saying that or projecting it on others? Tuddy said Uno cards versus jars in the freezer, shaking my head. Yeah. Jinx said, if you watch it again, pay attention to how focused she was. Dragons was lasted in and determined to speak. Yeah, yes. And for the first time, y'all, I didn't feel like Dragons was being a fake or a phony either. I don't know who in the hell was speaking through dragons, but dragons was determined. It was really like it was a battle between good and evil right before our eyes. And then Blondie said dragons didn't even sound drunk or high last night. No. But notice, they were so in a trance with Mika, so much so that it was almost like they was trying to shut and stifle dragons down. And that really does say a lot. It says a lot. Diddy Love said it's been getting dark over there for sure. Blondie said Lemon has been saying some crazy stuff that I've never heard before. I be in the clouds listening. Right. And Angela T. White said, I will replay. I'm listening while making my lunch in a state of shock. Diddy Love said, fact, some type of sexual trance. It was like y'all, I don't know what to call it, but I know it was interesting to see. It was interesting to see. Then I was even somebody, well, it's a couple of people that was giving me advice about this situation. But one thing that I was told too is even about sharing a panel, sitting on a panel with this woman. Do y'all know somebody with these types of beliefs? Even you sharing a panel or being on the panel with her could allow her to be able to tap into your energy and siphon off your energy, your good energy, just because you on a panel with the girl. You hear me? Just being on the StreamYard on the panel with her. And it's almost like when you look at it and realize how sickly she is and how her health has been bad, I wouldn't put it past her to be trying to tap into other people's good energy in order to improve her own energy and health. One thing I was told by several people is for me not to share a panel with her any longer, which I will no longer be doing. Outside of me talking about her and dragons with this fight between good and evil, I'm not going to be up on no panel with her. Y'all, I don't want no parts. Even last night, I was at Lemons during the live. Now he blocked my J.Dunn channel. But y'all know I got a couple of other channels that I could have switched to so that I could drop down up in his chat. But I didn't even want to drop down in his chat because I knew as soon as she saw me up in his chat, she was going to start trying to communicate with me. And I don't want her communication. I don't want her speaking to me. I don't want her to see me up in the chat and then start talking to me. I don't want any of that because I call my power back. I call my energy back. And I return all negativity back to sender. Yes. But it's something. It is something. So, yeah, I'm happy that the lady up in here had brought up about the pictures because she definitely be getting the pictures from people to make them flyers and stuff. So I'm like, only time will tell. We will just have to see. We will just have to see, y'all. Tabay said, it's her voice and tone for me. It gives off a certain vibe. Jinx said, one thing I picked up on was that Mika was holding back. She couldn't back dragons down, and it was pissing her off. She had to stay in character. That was another thing. Because dragons was saying that she was a shapeshifter. Dragons was like, you a shapeshifter. You were coming here with one face, a mask. Dragons kept saying, that's the mask. Dragon said, this girl done came over here with a mask. With a mask, a veil. Showing as one thing, when she on the inside, she is really another. So that she can do like a bait and a switch with everybody. Good morning, DC. Good morning. Have a good time. Well, I was about to say have a good time at PT. I'm sure it won't be a good time, but you know what I mean, DC. But good morning. And Melissa said, amen. Good morning, Melissa. So Blondie said, how was she when you were talking on the phone with her? I only talked on the phone with her like maybe 4 or 5 times. But the few times that I talked to her on the phone were really specifically about the strike up on my channel when me and Lemon had those strikes and trying to remove those strikes. I think another time was when she was trying to strike Shakim because Shakim had her mugshot and arrest records and all that stuff up on his channel. So it was about that. Another time that I talked to her, she was telling me about the Devon Artiste person, how she had found him and did this interview with him and how she recorded him without his consent, might I add. So the times that I talked to her, it really wasn't nothing out the way, but just her trying to give me information or her needing my advice about how she could get her stuff off of Shakim's channel. But she did sound the same, but I will say, to me, she just sounded very calm, mellow, just like how she typically sounds. But no way would I have known that she would be doing all this other stuff on the back end, like what she be doing. Good morning, truthfully honest chick. But now in hindsight, thinking about what Dragon said, that could have been the mask. What Dragon said, it's a mask that she is putting on. That's a mask for her to, I don't know. It was just, I could rewatch that Dragon's argument. And to be honest, I wish that so many people, especially Lemon, wouldn't have kept interrupting and trying to cut Dragons off, because I believe Dragons was onto something. But it's very convenient for everybody to make Dragons appear to be silly or appear to be the one who don't know what she's talking about, appear to be off kilter. But I think Dragons might be onto something, y'all. At best, I believe Dragons has Lemon's best interest at heart more than Mika. I believe if Dragons could give Lemon the shirt off her back, she would. However, I think Mika would want to be taking Lemon's shirt. You understand? We ain't gonna forget that she was over there trying to borrow $30 or trying to get $30 from Shakim to pay her light bill and all this kind of stuff. I think she trying to grow her channel and improve her health off the back of Lemon. And Lemon just ain't listening. He don't know. Good morning, Pizarro. He ain't listening. Bella said, I actually believe Dragons because Mika's only response was to tell her you're not supposed to read people without consent. Right! Mika got out her body at the thought of Dragons reading her without her consent. But she never did say, Dragons, you wrong. Dragons, that's not true. She just didn't want Dragons to be reading her without her consent. And that's the craziest part about it. That's the craziest part about it. Dragons was very passionate when she was talking. Not high drunk, I don't think, anyway. No, she was in her right mind. Truthfully said, I don't know if you saw any of my comments last night about the Dragons and Mika situation. I called a few things out. Yeah, I noticed there was a few of y'all up in the chat that was calling out some of this mess. But then there was a lot of people that's up in the chat that was like some brainwashed ass sheep. And I was like, y'all gotta be some brainwashed sheep. But yet y'all claim that y'all believe in the power of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and God. Y'all believe in him, but y'all against what Dragons is up here saying? What? Really now? Now, everything that Dragons was up there saying was pretty much on the side of right. And then even did y'all hear Mika say that when she do her rituals and her root work, she used the book of Psalms. But she say it's hoodoo that she is doing. So if you are practicing hoodoo, Why are you using the book of Psalms from the Bible? If you are practicing hoodoo because your grandmother taught you that stuff, why do you need the book of Psalms to do this stuff exactly? Why are you intertwining the book of Psalms in this? Make it make sense. It's a lot of it that don't make sense to me. Ray Trigg said, she's constantly trying to attach herself to situations and people. Her thumbnail with binary was weird. She wants to help, but her content is centered around exposing and doxing. Even that right there. Because she is a resident doxer over there at Lemon. But let Lemon tell her he don't allow doxing. He got mad at King Kaios because they said King Kaios was doxing up in his chat. But Mika be doxing. Jinx said, truthfully, yep, and they glossed right. They didn't pay it no mind. I'm from New Orleans. I grew up around people like her. My grandmother taught us about those kind of people. Right. I moved here from New Orleans, Bella. So you already know I know. You already know I know. That dark magic shit is nothing to play with. And then Voodoo said, hoodoo is a spiritual way of life. It's not a religion in itself like voodoo. Thank you for that correction. I appreciate that. Let's see. I called that shit out. It felt like there was a discussion to get Dragons so pissed that Lemon will remove her as a judge and make Mika judge by Dragons' actions. You know, even just the fact of how Dragons was set up. Why in the hell didn't Lemon tell her that she was about to go over there and have a spiritual warfare fight? Let me say that again. Why didn't Lemon let Dragons know that she was coming to his panel to have to face off in a fight of spiritual warfare? All he did was tell Dragons to show up, then prepare her about what she was showing up for. None of that. She showed up, and then it ended up being a whole fight between good and evil. And then you right. They was ready to make Dragons the problem, try to remove her from being a judge, trying to make her be the issue, all because she was passionate in her own belief. I was mind blown. I truly was. Y'all just pay close attention going forward. But yes, I will say this again before I move on to my next topic, y'all. I call my power back. I call my energy back in the name of God. And I return all negativity that's wished upon me. I returned it back to sender. Now I'm about to move on. So, with me moving on, now y'all see that everything is falling apart over there at Lemons, but Lemon can't pinpoint why it's falling apart. Dragons came there as a beacon of light and possibly a beacon of hope, trying to tell him what's going on, but he disregarded anything that she said. So let's move on. Now, on Nest Live last night, I could tell whenever she don't have no content whatsoever, y'all. She don't have a lick of content to save her life because some kind of way I overheard her up there talking with Dimples now and essentially was saying that I was lying, called me a lie about a discussion that I had with Big Rig. Now, I recall, and I actually did find the live in question, and I found the timestamp. But and the discussion happened on Envy's channel. Right now, I'm not too keen on Envy because at this particular point, I don't know where he stands. I done seen him over there with Brooke and Malik doing all this plotting and stuff, and I see him over there with Ness doing all this plot. I don't like the fake, phony, flip-floppy, wish-washy side of Envy. So for that reason, I leave him where he at. But I found the video in question, and the discussion happened at Envy's. So as y'all can see on my community wall that I did late last night, I had to call Ness out because Ness was over there spinning narrative. Ness lies so much that anytime I say anything, she would prefer to discredit me and try to make her audience believe that I'm a liar and that I gotta lie on people or that I gotta bend the truth and all this kind of stuff. She just do that because it make her feel better. And I think that's a sad and pathetic existence. Speaking of returning to sender, returning negativity to sender. Didn't y'all hear Ness say that she was up in the hospital last night? She did post her wristband picture of her wristband in the hospital. It had her government name, and she made sure that her birthday was scribbled out for there. But Ness was up in the hospital yesterday. And I believe that that's return to sender work right there, too. Return to sender work right there, too. How in the hell I return to send all this stuff and I watch it just unfold around me, including Ness ass being up in the hospital yesterday? All because of the negativity that they was trying to wish upon me, but no, I send it back to you, including this. Including this. But, so, she tried to convince her audience that I was lying about a conversation that was had. So, Envy did a panel. As y'all saw Monday morning, I had showed y'all some receipts about Envy inviting me to panels over there to his channel. Envy inviting me out around Atlanta. Envy invited me to this. Envy invited me to that. Well, one particular panel, I did take Envy up on the offer. And I went over there to the panel because it was me, Envy, Big Rig, and the lady Brenda Clark from the Mo3 sector. I think she's from the Mo3 sector. What we were ended up talking about, y'all, and how we even came across this discussion is because we were talking about gender and respecting of boundaries. Essentially, that's what we were talking about. And actually, let me go to my community wall. Let me see, because I want to show y'all my community wall post in case y'all didn't see it. And please like my video, y'all. I'm trying to keep y'all informed about what's going on and what I feel, what I see. But I do want to show y'all my community wall post that I put last night. And this was my response towards Ness. So let me share my screen real quick. Present screen. Share screen. Okay. So as y'all can see on this community wall post, I thought that I could make it bigger, but it wouldn't zoom in. Or maybe I might have to just zoom in from this one right here. Let me see if I zoom in this way. There we go. That should be bigger. Okay. So on this community wall post, I said Nessa Blaze. Oh, let me make full screen it. I didn't realize I need to full screen it. I said Nessa Blaze. I don't have to lie about the panel that I was on with Envy and Big Rigs a few months ago, in which they expressed discomfort about how the trans women would come onto the straight men at Lemon's channel. Perhaps if you actually supported Big Rigs' channel, you would have heard this conversation as well. But you don't support his channel or even share out his channel, so you wouldn't know. Ness, hey, good morning, Demon Soul. Good morning to everybody coming in. Good morning to Clicking of You. Good morning to everybody. Ness is a selfish person. Now, even in her live last night, Big Rig clicked the link to defend himself regarding this post right here that I put. Ness was letting Big Rig know that she unmodded him because he wasn't coming to her channel, or if he came to her channel, he always showed up late. She felt like he wasn't reporting the duty on time, like a finesser, I'm guessing. All of this kind of mess. But see, the problem is, Ness had this man as a moderator and expected him to show up anytime that she was going live, despite the fact that he be doing his own thing, trying to build his own channel. But he's a mod. She expects him to be a mod in every single one of her lives. But this man be over here growing his own channel, and Ness never come over there to support. Never. She's selfish. She expects him to be modding in every single live that she does. But then when he does his live, and he do his live once a week, y'all. Once a week. He do his live on Wednesday nights. Wednesday night is when he do his live. And she never can show up over there to support him, but then she want to unmod him because he ain't showed up enough at her channel. So with this post, Big Rig showed up over there and clicked Ness link, and they had a discussion in which Big Rig had to confirm that what I was saying with this is true. Now, what I will say, because I don't want people to get it twisted to think that Big Rig or Envy are transphobic. That's not what I'm saying at all up in this post. And actually, if you looked at the panel in which we did, which the panel is on Envy's channel, and I did find the timestamp, I did not share the live up on my community wall because I'm not a huge fan of Envy these days, and I did not want to give him support. I don't want to share Envy's channel to even help build his channel, because at this point, I don't know whether Envy is for me or against me. So I'm not trying to help his channel out. But I do help Big Rig's channel. But the way we got to discussing this was, I want to say this live had to have been about 6 months ago, 7 months ago. And we were discussing Lemon's channel. And back then, that's when Tulsa and Simon and even Dimples would click that link and sometimes start flirting with the straight men up there. Not necessarily flirting with Big Rig and Envy, but flirting with the straight men. Remember, that was around that time where Simon was talking about how he wanted to settle down and marry Lemon and all this weird ass mess. Or Tulsa might be arguing with somebody, and then Tulsa, case in point, when Tulsa used to get into it with Krista over there, just Krista at Lemon's. And just to piss off just Krista, Tulsa started calling Lemon daddy and all of this weird ass shit, and Lemon would never correct her. Okay, if y'all remember that time, this is the time that we had this discussion, which it was a valid discussion to have. It wasn't like people was being homophobic or transphobic or against the community. No, we were having a discussion because when Tulsa would do that towards Lemon, it made Krista feel uncomfortable. And in certain instances, it made the straight men who were moderators for Lemon feel uncomfortable as well, because they couldn't understand why Lemon wasn't correcting her. They couldn't understand why Lemon wasn't correcting her, wasn't correcting Tulsa when Tulsa would come out of pocket like that. And they also couldn't understand why Lemon was allowing Simon to run around talking about that they was together and in a relationship and all this weird ass shit without correcting Simon. So this is when we talked about the fact that it made them uncomfortable. Even to the point to where they got my opinion about the situation. And I told them, I understand y'all completely. I said, I can see how something like that could make y'all feel uncomfortable as heterosexual men. I said, because I always feel uncomfortable when I'm around heterosexual men and they make it a point to hit on me, or they make it a point to come on to me, or they make it a point to try to flirt with me. I said, when heterosexual men flirt with me, I feel extremely uncomfortable. I said, so if I feel extremely uncomfortable as a lesbian when heterosexual men do that with me, then I can understand You guys as heterosexual men feeling uncomfortable to see gay men or trans women coming on to straight men. That's how that discussion was happening. That's what that panel was about. It was not about them dragging Tulsa or dragging Dimples or dragging Simon or anything. It was a discussion about how you feel about certain things. And then we pivoted into the point of taking compliments, where the man landlord clicked the link and got up there, and landlord had complimented me on my looks. And I said there is a difference between somebody giving you a compliment and somebody actually flat foot disrespecting you. I said that's one thing about me. I can take a compliment from a heterosexual man as long as he keeps it respectful and knows that that's all. Just give me the compliment and keep it moving. I said, just like I could take a compliment from a heterosexual man, I can compliment a heterosexual man. Hey, I like that hat that you got on. Oh, hey, I like them shoes you got. Where you get them shoes from? That type of thing. We even spoke about in lesbian situations how sometimes women get uncomfortable if a lesbian compliments them. I've been in spaces, y'all, in the past where as a lesbian, I could see a woman and I could give her a compliment about something that she got on, or even the perfume. Oh, you smell good. What's that? And immediately that woman will assume that I'm hitting on her. Immediately. In some cases, you come across ignorant women that will assume that I'm hitting on her all because I gave her a compliment and I said, hey, I like that. What do you have on? That smells good. I mean, I might want to go buy it for myself. Just because I'm giving you a compliment about the perfume that you got on, or just because I'm giving you a compliment because I like your hair, or just because I'm giving you a compliment in those types of ways, that don't mean that I'm trying to come on to you. That don't mean that I'm trying to disrespect you, or that I'm trying to turn you gay, or trying to make you a lesbian. None of that. That just means I'm giving you a compliment, and there is a difference. You have some heterosexual women that automatically feel offended by me giving them a compliment, but then you have other heterosexual women who are very comfortable in their own sexuality, and then they won't feel no type of way if I give them a compliment at all. So this was the in-depth type of discussion that we were having on that panel in which this was discussed and this came up. So the fact that Ness never watched any of the content over there whatsoever, but her first mind was to call me a lie and say that I was lying on Big Rig, I think it's shiesty as hell, and it just shows how much of a hater that Ness is. Even when she don't even be over there supporting the channel, she'll call me a lie anyway, even though she don't even come over there to watch. Ain't that crazy? Or she'll say that I'm trying to be messy because I'm speaking a factual truth about what we discussed. She ain't even been over there to see for herself, but she just want to call it a lie just to make her feel better. Then she wonder why she was laid up in the hospital yesterday. She needs to stop that. Her getting right out the hospital, just fresh out the hospital, and she already trying to lie on me again. Like, girl, maybe the hate up in your heart that you have towards me is eating up at your health. And maybe that's why you was up in the hospital yesterday. Maybe that hate that you have generated up in your heartness that you have towards me, all that negativity that you try to send towards me, that I have returned to sender towards you, is the reason why you wound up in the hospital yesterday and you was on your members community wall showing your little your wristband and your wrist bracelet of you being up in the hospital with your government name on it. Maybe you need to change your ways and stop being so hateful. Stop being so hateful. Y'all, I stopped looking at the comments. Let me see. Oh, Teddy said, "Done. You know with her, everything is your fault." Right. Honest Chick said, let me see. I don't like how Ness kept interrupting Lemon and Big Rig conversation to include herself. Correct. Because I definitely wasn't trying to get Big Rig up in no transphobic trick bag or nothing like that. Now that I was able to actually explain to y'all the context of the panel that we were having and the discussions that we were having, it was very valid discussions. But these discussions were about gender and making people feel comfortable or uncomfortable and the differences between our sexualities or sexual orientations and how you should treat the other person. We were talking about that type of stuff, which is valid discussion to have these days. And especially considering that I was on a panel with straight men. Brenda was, and this is why I like that panel. And this is why I agreed to do that panel. So you had Big Rig and Envy, who were heterosexual men, Brenda, who was a heterosexual woman, and me as a lesbian woman. That was a very perfect combo for me, if I would say so myself. For us to have that diverse group of people, heterosexual men, a heterosexual woman, and a lesbian woman, having this topic of conversation. I thought that it was a great discussion. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed how I was treated when I was over there on the panel with the discussion. I made sure that I respected Brenda and didn't make her feel uncomfortable. The men over there respected me, didn't make me feel uncomfortable. It was a good thing. So that's how this conversation came about. Let's see. Ness doesn't bring up Big Rig at all or even alluded that she cared. At least Lemon been everywhere asking about Big Rig. Yeah, Big Rig been over there on his channel. I remember when Big Rig was over there at Lemon, he held back a lot. There was a lot Big Rig did. He was upset with Lemon about one of his plays and Big Rig wanted to speak on it. He just let it go and continued to build up. It was around the time of BBW. Yeah, it was the BBW thing. That's when we had this conversation. So I wanted to share my screen and show y'all this community wall post in which Ness tried to say that I was lying about something, and I wasn't lying at all. I was not lying at all. But Big Rig did go over there up on Ness's panel to correct Ness in her fuckery, to correct Ness while Ness was over there trying to call me a lie. But again, I asked Big Rig if I could speak on this morning for my morning show so that I could bring more proper context to the conversation that was had so that people who were not at the live or in attendance for the live could understand how the conversation even came about and how the topic was even brought about. Hell, Big Rig is a moderator over here for me, and I rarely see him. But guess what? I don't get mad because I come live early in the morning like this. Big Rig is in California time. That's where he at over there in California. So most of the time when I done came over here to go live my damn self, y'all, Big Rig sleep. Right now it's about to be 8 o'clock my time. So over there it's about to be 5 o'clock in the morning. I would be a fool if I expected Big Rig to be up in here this early in the morning in his time zone, 5 o'clock in the morning his time, to come over here to moderate my chat. And then because I didn't see him show up or he didn't show up often enough, then he ain't showed up often enough. So now I'm going to remove his moderator stick or try to call him out or try to drag him because he hadn't showed up. I think that's a bit much, and I think it's controlling and territorial. And even that's what Big Rig told Ness when he hit her link last night. He was like, well, I'm out for a lot of people. He said, include ODS. He said, I have a wrench with a lot of people. He said, I can't show up to everybody's live. And he absolutely correct. He can't show up to everybody's live, and he shouldn't be expected to. But even once Ness read my message on my community wall, in which I called her out for not supporting that man's channel, but yet she expect him to be there to mod when he had a rich, then she wants to talk about she don't have as much time in the day as I do. I be on here 24/7. Bitch, no, I don't. I don't. But it's something called replay, bitch. replay. If you genuinely support the person, especially if the person is being a moderator for you, then it don't hurt you at all to wake up in the morning and see that you don't miss their live and catch the replay just to see what they discussed, just so that you can give them a like, just so that you, in case you want to recap anything with them. That don't hurt at all. Hell, in my morning show, it's been a couple of times where I have recapped something that done happened at Big Rigs, because I feel like if I include him in my recap from time to time, that should give him more exposure to his channel in an attempt to help him grow his channel, to help him get more subscribers. When I add people up in the recap over here, a lot of the times, especially if it's somebody that I like, I'm giving them a recap so that I can help them. Even I think Big Rig and the Hood Table, they have a show that they do together, and I think it's a weekly show. And I know Big Rig show is on Wednesday nights, but then I feel like Big Rig and the Hood Table, they do their show sometime on the weekend. And I'll go over there and support them. Sophie said, believe it or not, someone tells you that they, hold on. Believe it or not, when someone tells you that they don't care, I hit it. Remember, it's not a paid position. The fuck? Right. It's not. They don't get paid at all. And I know that I'm not paid. But yeah, most of the time Big Rig go live, I be about sleep. Cause I ain't gonna lie, his lives normally start about 11 o'clock. It'd be 11 o'clock my time, but again, he is in California time. So whenever it's 11 o'clock for me, it'd be about 8 o'clock over there for him. So at 8 o'clock California time, he going live. It's 11 o'clock for me. So I'm probably about to go to sleep. But because he only goes live once a week, which is typically on Wednesday nights, then I could definitely give him the support by at least tuning into whatever they talking about until I fall asleep. Give him a like on the video. Give him the play and the watch time of his video as I fall asleep. As I fall asleep. That's how you cross support. But when you selfish like Ness, the only people that she cross support is the ones that she is the ones that she think is gonna fight me or fight Pizarro. Notice she only share out and cross support with the ones who trying to fight us, fight me, fight Pizarro. If somebody trying to fight Lemon. Oh, Sexy Toy Lady is correcting me. So she said Sunday nights is when him and her do their show. I knew it was the weekend because I know I've been able to catch their show a couple of times, even though it be late at night because it be on the weekend. So, okay. So Big Riggs do his regular show up on his channel on Wednesday nights. And then on Sunday nights, Sexy Toy Lady said this is whenever Big Riggs and the Hood Table do their show together. So out of the entire week, Big Rig only got 2 shows. And you mean out of the entire week with the man only having 2 shows, Ness couldn't catch 1 show? Not even 1? Ness couldn't catch even 1 replay? Not even 1? Ness can't catch nothing that this man is doing, but then Ness decided to unmod the man because Ness say the man don't show up and mod in her chat. How selfish is that? How selfish is that? But that's just because she only expects everybody to support her, but she don't feel like she needs to support anybody else. Even with that being said, y'all, tonight is Wednesday, so Big Rig will be doing his show tonight. And depending on if I'm up, because like I said, a lot of times when he be getting ready to do his show, it be so late for me. Sometimes I be asleep. But if I do wake up in the middle of the night, I might tune in and see what they got going on. Or either just let it play on my TV so he could get the watch hours. Sometimes I'll wake up and catch the replay the next morning. But that's how you support the people. And again, I be live so early, Big Rig ain't up in here right now. But I ain't about to penalize the man for not being up in here. He sleep. Whenever I have shows like on the weekends where I have a show like later on, like in the afternoon or something, or even like my spades game or whatnot, if Big Rig's available, he'll pop up in here and he'll say hey to everybody, and that's that. But I had to go ahead and nip that in the bud because I didn't want them spinning the narrative that Big Rig is transphobic or anything like that. I already see Envy is ready to make him and Big Rig a victim. Envy love put my name in the title. I mean, so far in the last couple of days, Envy done tried to clout chase off my name to get a click and a view off my name by putting my name up in his title. And in one of his titles, he got J.Dunn is trying to get the community to turn against me and Big Rig. Bitch, no the fuck I'm not. Mind your damn business, Envy. Mind your business. That's the reason why I ain't even tag you up in my post, because I don't care about you. I know that you trying to clout chase off my name with a click and a view. And the fact that you lied and say I'm trying to turn the community against y'all, that just shows me that you itching to fight with me, and I'm just going to pay you dust like what I've been doing. Bitch, ain't nobody trying to get no community to turn against you. Bitch, you are a non-factor, actually. I know you want to be relevant in something, but you ain't. Even to the point to where you over there at Lemons trying to remind y'all to go and look at your video about 13 channels or whatever the fuck. Don't nobody give a fuck about that 13 channel shit. That's why nobody watched it. Don't nobody give a fuck about no protection channel or nothing. You kept trying to remind face y'all to go watch it, If you got to remind them that many times to go watch it, that means she ain't interested. So please stop trying to put my name up in your title any chance that you think that you could get a little bit of clout and some numbers off my damn name. Specifically, I was speaking about Big Rigs and why Big Rigs didn't show up at Lemons any longer. That ain't have shit to do with you. You were included, but you were not included, if that makes sense, because you still go to Lemons to get on the panel anyway. Even though you expressed to have a discomfort in the way things were being handled over there when it came to the Simons and the Tulsas back then, even though you claimed that you were uncomfortable with it, you clearly are comfortable with it because you ain't never missed a beat over there. You still be on the panels. You still be right there. Right, Queen. Look, Teddy, he was advertising it to Face. Girl, he reminded Face about it about 4 or 5 times on Lemon's panel last night, and Face was barely up there 20 minutes. Don't nobody give a damn. Yes, Angela T. White. And that's one of the reasons why I always raise the eyebrow about him, because I was here in real time when that MU thing went down with him. And they came on the camera together while MU was at his house. I saw all that in real time. And I raised the eyebrow with him back then. Then I saw him up in this chat talking about his company have an LGBTQIA director position that he wanted me to know about. If this man wanted me to know about any position, first off, he could have reached out to me. But second off, Envy, I'm sorry. I don't know if I would want to work with your company, because if I work with your company, then wouldn't that mean that y'all would have all my motherfucking information? Like, what type of fool do he think I am? He really thinks that he running through here up in this chat talking about how I missed out on an opportunity to be the LGBTQIA director at his company. Well, bitch, don't that mean that I would have had to give all of my government information? Don't that mean I would have had to give all my government information, my social and everything else in order to be paid by your company? You think I trust you like that? You think I actually trust you to get mixed up within your company or within your business like that? Do you think that I'm that desperate? Do you? Do you? I thought that was wild as hell. You just got the notification? I posted that last night. That's crazy that you just got it. But yeah, I'm like, Envy is really running around these chats like he was about to give me a job or help my career. Hell no, that means you need my information unless you about to be paying me via Cash App. Well, look, the only way that I'm doing any director position with you is if you paying me via Cash App or PayPal. Outside of that, I don't want no parts. Outside of that, I don't want no motherfucking parts with it. Demon Soul said, the interview while Envy and MU was in Atlanta, I just uploaded it again on my channel. Okay, so y'all, the interview with Envy and Misunderstood that Demon Soul did with them is on her channel if y'all want to see. And Angela T. White said we have brands to protect. Right. Teddy said, what company? We need a company now. Girl, your guess is as good as mine. But to be honest, the way Envy be trying to roll and speak as if he's so litigious, I'm happy I don't even know the company name. Because I would hate to say the company name and then he want to go through litigation and shit. Ain't nobody got time for that. But at the end of the day, before I could ever apply for a position at your company, that would mean I would have to hand you over my entire identity. Who the fuck I look like? Boo Boo the Fool? Who in the hell you think you talking to? Boo Boo the motherfucking fool? For you to be having my social security number, my address, my phone number, my government name, my tax ID number, all of my shit? No. And the fact that you running around the beef sector talk about you got job opportunities is weird as hell. But if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. Hell, it ain't my problem. Good morning, Michelle. Yeah, truthfully honest chick, I had been posted at. Okay, let's see. Sophie said, like I said, they want you locked up. They do, and that's why I return all of that negativity back to sender. I return it all back to sender. But yes, y'all, I was looking here. I think I really was able to pinpoint most of the things that I wanted to discuss with y'all. That dragons and Mika thing was really something that I had to touch on though, and I hope that y'all pay attention and think on that. Simmer on that. Don't always be so quick to discount what dragons is saying. Don't be so quick to discount the validity in some of this stuff that she be saying. So yes, if y'all came in late, y'all please like the video. Let me see. I'm looking here to see. Oh, if y'all came in late, like the video. If you have sharing capability, share the video. Y'all, I'm trying to look through here to see if I got anything that I could redirect y'all to or to redirect y'all for. Oh, it's showing YouTube cameras, but for some reason her thing ain't showing up over here. I don't understand why YouTube camera shit never show up over here for me. That's crazy as hell. I don't know why I don't. But let me go ahead and grab this here. I don't know why I don't. Say that there. But yeah, well, either way, y'all, I done been here for an hour and a half, which is great. Y'all, and I do love and admire the fact that I'm able to bring an audience to my channel this early in the morning. And I'm able to do my show solo dolo without a panel. I'm happy that I'm able to garner the replay views and everything. I appreciate everybody's support, y'all. I appreciate the likes that y'all give. Please like the video. Don't forget to like the video before you leave. But then also, I appreciate the donations when y'all decide to bless me every now and then. I appreciate all of that from y'all. Don't you ever forget. People be getting so caught up in the numbers game and bragging about how many numbers they got this and numbers they got that and all this. When in all actuality, y'all, for me, it's just about me trying to come here to connect with y'all slowly but surely, but then to build my channel. And then just to be able to have my platform to speak uninterruptedly or uninterrupted so that I could get my thoughts and point of view across without other people trying to cut me off or trying to bait me into an argument or trying to say something weird, all of that. Good morning. And the thing is, definitely replay this one. You're going to enjoy the content up in this one because I saw you up in Lemon's chat trying to have Dragons back last night, but they was trying to dismiss the hell out of what Dragons was saying. But I did notice your comments up in the chat, so I think you will enjoy this replay. And the thing is, but either way, y'all, that's all I got for y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. Have an amazing Wednesday. And I guess I will talk to y'all on the next video. Bye.